Hi, my name is Alkalti. Um, I guess before I start my presentation today, I would like to thank everyone that supporting me, continue supporting me, and without any condition, and the people that been sending me an emails, message through the social media, message of encouragement and support. I would like to thank you so much for that. Okay, today I will give you a short presentation on a topic of peace and security. So our presentation is very important today because with peace and security there is no development for human being, and there is no stability, there is nothing. So the first thing that we have to make sure, or the international community has to make sure, that there is a peace and security around the world. So therefore, after peace, the human being can make achievement in their life. The quality of life will change, will be better and better. So my presentation is consist of the following point. The first one is going to be about the United Nations Charter. I will give you some information about that, about the United Nations Charter. The second point, or the second part, is going to be about the Security Council as a organization. I will give you some brief information about this body, this very important body in the United Nations. The third point is going to be about the General Assembly. Even also this this body is very important to in terms of peace and security around the world. The fourth part is going to be about the Secretary General, and the fifth one about the conflict prevention, preventing genocide and responsibility to protect. The sixth part of this presentation. The seventh part is going to be about the peace building and how it's important to promote and support peace and security around the world. The eighth part is going to about the peacekeeping, and the ninth one is about the explosive device. It's all about. The 10th part about women and children in conflict, as we know that the women and children are the vulnerable people in the armed conflict, because these people are the most victim of the armed conflict, as we can see the history will tell us. The 11th part is going to be about peaceful uses of outer space, very important too. The last part of this presentation is going to be about the resource reference. So I have placed some links there for many websites. So if you want further information, more information about peace and security, you can always go to this. You are welcome to go to this website and gain further information. Before I start my first slide, I would like to stress that how important peace and security. Peace and security, it has all the value. It has values and attitude and form of behavior that reflect respect for life. Respect for life, human being life, and other living thing on the earth. Respect for life, human dignity, and as a human being, we have an inherent dignity. So if there is the peace and security, there is human dignity. We have to think about it. Human rights. Without peace and security, is going to be violation of human rights. So if there is no peace, there is no human rights. Human right for a human being. So peace is very important for human rights. Peace and security mean reject all form of violence. Reject all violence, all its form. Freedom. Peace mean freedom. Peace and security mean justice. Peace and security mean tolerance and understanding between people around the world. So peace and security are very, very important and very crucial in terms of the development, and in terms of the human being development. Okay, let's start it. We are going to start in our the first slide is going to be about the peace and security, and as I mentioned earlier that I'm going to give you some information or brief information about the United Nations Charter. So the this charter, or this United Nations Charter, was signed on the 26th of June 1945 in San Francisco in America, in USA, United Nations of America. So the in San Francisco, at the conclusion of the United Nations Conference on the International Organization, and came into force. The Charter of the United Nations came into force on the 24th of October 1945. So the status of the International Court of Justice is very important, or integral, or very important part of the Charter. So in the introduction of the United Nations Charter, or the preamble, it says here, we, the people of the United Nations, determined to save succeeding, which means the coming generation, from the scourge. Scourge means something that cause great sadness or difficulty or suffering. So the international community has committed themselves to make the coming generation live in peace and security. So by discouraging the war, which twice in our lifetimes has brought untold sorrow to mankind around the world. So it brings feeling of very or quite sadness. This is the time of war. We talk here about the First World War and the Second World War. There is millions of people have died as a consequence of this international armed conflict. So to reaffirm, which means to give a support, faith in fundamental human rights, in the dignity and worth of human person, in the equal right of men and women and of the nation large and small, and to establish conditions under which justice and respect for all, for the obligation arising from treaties and other sources of international law can be maintained, and to prompt social progress and better standard of life in larger freedom. So what we mean here, just to conclude what I have just said, the international community has an obligation to make the world safe and peaceful, enable the coming generation to live in a peaceful manner. Therefore, they have committed themselves to not allow any other wars break out. Otherwise, we will suffer again because we have learned from the past. But to be honest with you, the United Nations Charter has not fulfilled their commitment, as we will see in the next slides. And it says here, and for this end, to practice tolerance and life together in peace with one another as a good neighbors, and to unite our strengths to maintain international peace and security, and to ensure by the acceptance of principle and the institution of method that armed force shall not be used save in the common interest, and to employ international machinery for the promotion of economic and social advantage of all people. So basically, the international, what it says here in the United Nations Charter, we shouldn't use a arm to to find solution for our problem. If there is dispute between two states, they have to find solution in their dispute in peace manner. That's why we have the International Court of Justice to dissolve and to find solution for the dispute between state or between international organization. So there is no need for armed conflict, either whether it could be like non-international armed conflict or international armed conflict. It's unacceptable. Okay, we're still talking about the United Nations Charter. So as I said, this chart is very important for the peace and security for the world. Therefore, the state around the world has to obey and has to apply the United Nations Charter. Okay, let's talk about the this body is called the Security Council. It's very important in terms of peace and security. Under the Charter, the Security Council has primary responsibility for the maintenance of the international peace and security. It has 15 members. The Security Council, this is very important. It has 15 members, and each member has one vote. Under the charter, all member states are obligated to comply with the council decision. So this body is very important in terms of the peace and security. The Security Council takes the lead in determining the existing of the threat to the peace or act of aggression. It calls upon the parties to the dispute to settle it by peaceful means, and recommended method of adjustment or term of settlement. So basically, if there is any dispute, the Security Council has to step in and has to encourage the part of the dispute to find solution in peace manner, in peace manner. Otherwise, it's going to be, if there is any of the party has used the arm as a weapon to find solution for the dispute, that will threat the international peace and security. Therefore, the Security Council has to step in and to encourage the party to find solution in their dispute in a peaceful manner. Okay, the other body that's very important is the General Assembly. The General Assembly is, according to the chart, the General Assembly can make a recommendation on the general principle of cooperation of maintaining international peace and security, including disarmament. Disarmament means, which means the act of taking away or giving up a weapon, and for the peaceful settlement of any situation that might impair, which mean to spoil something or to make it even weak, friendly relation among nations. So the General Assembly can also discuss any question relating to the international peace and security and make recommendation if the issue is not currently being discussed by the Security Council. So this is the General Assembly plays a crucial role in terms of peace and security. So they, because as we know that they have many mechanism or delegation or branches around the world, so they can inform, these branches can inform the General Assembly in United Nations, the headquarters in America, if there is any dispute or there is any conflict that will can concern the international peace and security. Secretary General, according to chart, they empower the Secretary General to bring to the attention of the Security Council any matter which, in his opinion, may threaten the maintenance of the international peace and security. One of the most vital roles played the Secretary General is the use of his good office. This is the like way how to find solution for any dispute in a peaceful manner. A step taken publicly, and in private, publicly or in private, that draw upon his independence, impartiality, and to prevent international dispute from reason escalating to or spreading. This is the role of the Secretary General to prevent any further dispute. Conflict prevention. So the whole this presentation is about how to prevent conflict. Because if we prevent conflict, that means we maintain the peace and security, which is great. So the main strategy for preventing dispute from escalating into conflict, and for preventing the conflict from spreading and become wider, by preventive disarmament. This is strategy to prevent conflict. We have to prevent disarmament, or we don't want people to have weapon, because there is many people can misuse the weapon, or they have the weapon in their arm or in their hand. Preventive diplomacy, so refer to action taken to prevent dispute from arising or from escalating into conflict, and to limit the spread of conflict when they occur. And that may take the form of mediation or negotiation. We're still in the topic of conflict prevention. So as I said earlier, that by using a peaceful manner is very essential to prevent any conflict. Also by preventing disarmament. We talked about this one already. Peace building. Peace building is really important. It's very crucial. It's very quite important. And within the United Nations, peace building refers to the effort to assist country and region in their transition from war to peace, and to reduce a country risk of going back again to conflict. For example, if there is any country that's come out of a civil war or a conflict, we we as a international community to keep that peaceful continue by peace building. This is the main idea about peace building, building lasting peace, not just, and we have to make sure this peace it will last forever or last for a long time. We don't want the armed conflict to come back again. Peacekeeping. Peacekeeping is about the delegation, the peacekeeping mission to deploy into certain region or country to prevent any conflict. So the peace building mission was established in 1948, and since then the peacekeeping being deployed in Middle East to monitor the agreement between the Arab neighbors and Israel. Also, a large number of conflicts were brought to end by the peacekeeping. For example, here we have some countries including El Salvador in Guatemala and in South America, Namibia in Africa, Cambodia, Mozambique, Tajikistan, Sierra Leone in Africa, and Burundi. So the peacekeeping being everywhere around the world, in South America, in Africa, in Asia. So where there are conflict, the peacekeeping has to deploy there to make sure the conflict is not going to escalate or to prevent any further conflict or armed conflict. Okay, here we talk about this is also another way to prevent or to keep peace and security around the world. So there is a explosive device. We have to make sure there is no explosive device. We talk here about the landmine, which a bomb that put under the ground. So the figures here said in 2014, landmine and explosive hazard killed approximately 10 people every day, most of them children and women and the elderly, which is sad. Okay, let's talk about the women and children in conflict. As we know that the women and children are the victim of any armed conflict, and it says here much as 90% of casualty are among civilians, most of whom are women and children. Women because these children and women are the most vulnerable people in the world. That's why they become a victim of the conflict. All right, the last slide here is about the peaceful use of our space. I have no enough knowledge, but I can tell you that the United Nations has called upon the international community or the state of the international community or the member of the United Nations to use the space in a good manner and to for the sake of the human being all over the world. Okay, the last slide here is about the resource and reference. If you are interested in more or further information, just you can go one of this website and you can find a more information in terms of international peace and security. So we come to the end of this presentation. I would like to thank you again, once again. Thank you so much, and I will see you sometime very soon. Thank you. Take care.